Yeah, good evening, guys. Is it audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so in our previous section, so we are discussing about a material master record, right, and winner master record, right? So, so where we are in now, we are discussing about a winner master record, right? And info record also we had a discussion, right? So, any questions on this material master record, winner master record, and info record? Any questions?
No, as of now.
Okay. So, coming to the, we'll discuss about this ECC version and S4 HANA because there were some changes happen in the ECC and S4 HANA, especially from the point of the master data. Okay. So, try to understand about that, this aspect also. Okay. And let's come to that. Okay. Metal master record. When we're talking about the metal master record, okay, so if you see that in the ECC, okay, we have length only can 18 characters, okay, so that means, okay, we can create metal number till only 18 characters, okay. So again, the 18 characters with leading zeros, without leading zeros, again that is different, but okay, without leading zeros and with leading zeros, that is again settings will be different, but only the length maximum you can do 18 characters. Okay. Now coming to S4 HANA, this was the changed. Okay. So this was changed to till up to 40 characters they did. Okay. So the length we can update, we can extend from the 18 characters to 40 characters. Okay. But again, this is optional. It is okay. It's not mandatory. Okay. You can, if you want, you can go ahead. Okay. Okay. Just a moment. It is coming. Okay. Okay. So this is optional. Again, this, if you need this, you need to be activated the functionality. Okay. So when we're talking about the functionality, okay, so there will be a some every time if she's the version when it is changed. Suppose you need to be, you want to be activate some new functionality in the SAP. So there is a process to be activated. There will be some logs will be there that you need to be activated. Okay, so you need to be request to the basis team. They will activate that. So the same way, okay, here in this length, okay, there is a configuration which is there. We need to be activate to the 40, but uh, it is again optional. If you want, you can do it, but once it is activated, then it is very difficult because the database which is we already created materials with the 40 characters and the database which is updated with 40 characters, that again it is a problem. So once before you activating, you need to be uh, uh, strictly you need to be go with that rule. Okay, for whether you want to go with 18 characters or 40 characters. Okay, so this is one major one which is the change, and the second one is material ledger activation. Okay, so material ledger activation is the mandatory in the MetaMaster record. Okay, in the SEC version, so it's not mandatory, but in the S4 HANA version, this is the material ledger is the mandatory. Okay, so this is again mainly in the accounting related. Okay, so if I just activate material ledger, what will happen? If I have the multiple currencies, I can see the price of the material which with different currencies, and each period I can see that. Okay, so that was the one change. Okay, other than this, majorly some minor changes will be there, but okay, that will be again is a part of the process. Okay, it is so quota arrangement, something which is there. New changes are there, but these are the major one. Okay, these are the major one which we have. We can talk about the MetaMaster record. Okay, and ECC version and S4 HANA version. Okay, the material number material metal master is the mandatory. Okay, with material, without material, we can. And moreover, there is a one more material type which is provided SAP material type provided by SAP for services. Okay, so earlier in the ECC version, okay, it is not mandatory. We don't have option. Okay, now we can use that. There is a one material type which is provided by SAP for services. Okay, that you can use for the creation of services. Okay, so these are the major changes. Okay, if you want to be want to see that the difference here. Okay, this is a production related, and if you can see that the process wise. Okay. Um, this majorly it is a MRP relevant production related disease, but I have one more which is I will show you. Okay. Just one page. I prepared one PPT, but that was I think somewhere it is there. Yes, but we'll see in case it is there here. Oh, this is different. I think. Okay, this is different. I'll show you tomorrow. Okay, where's something upon this is next. Okay. Okay. So this is one thing which is like the difference. Okay. And coming to the vendor master card. Okay. So here again you need to understand that material master the terminology some industries they will call as a product master, and some industries they will call as article master, and some industries they will call as a metal master. Okay. So now coming to the vendor master card. Okay, so in a vendor master record, okay, and I hope you are aware about this. Okay, so vendor master record and the customer master record, there was a big change in the S4 HANA. Okay, so in ECC we have vendor master record and customer master records. Okay, this employee master record, like we have personal numbers, that is the separate we have. But in the S4 HANA, what was the change? It is like we need to be create a BP business partner. Okay, so business partner is a common for the all the master data, which is like employee master record and personal number if you want to create, and if you want to employee has a record, employee master record that you want to create, and vendor master record and customer master record. Okay, so that BP is the one point we can create a customer master record and the master records here. Okay, so again it will be like in this PP again that will be connected to BP roles, BP grouping. Okay, so those are the one which is like how in ECC we have number ranges and we have account groups to differentiate that. So the same way, and different levels we have to be accurate, like plant level and the company code level and patch organization level, like how we are doing. The same way in the business partner also we have the different roles that you need to be accurate. Okay, so if you want to be create the general data, you need to be select one role. Okay, if you want to be create purchasing data, then you need to be select one more role. Okay, if you want to be select company code data, if you want to create, then it is a different role. So this is the one which is a major change in the vendor master record. Okay, clear, clear.
Got it.
Okay. Now, so metal master card, vendor master card, and purchase info record. Okay, this is a purchase info record. So any doubts in the purchase info record? So, what information we have the purchase info record? We have that general common information, general data information. Then we have the purchasing organization data one and purchase organization data two. Okay, then we have the text by okay, the text we can maintain, info record text we can maintain. Okay, other than this one, we have to maintain the conditions. If you have the if you have the multiple pricing condition type, that will be maintained. So majorly these are the we have screens in the purchase for card. Okay. Now coming to the next one, this it is like source list. The next process will be source list. Okay. So what do you mean by source list? As we discussed earlier, the source list is the list of all the vendors. List of all the vendors or suppliers information. Okay. So if I have the one material, so for this material, for this plant, under this plant, who are the suppliers? Okay. So I can maintain the list of all the suppliers in the source list. So is it only the functionality we are maintaining the list of the suppliers, or do we have any other functionalities? So we have other functionality also. You can block the vendor. Okay, particularly in the specific period, if you want to be block, you can block this vendor. Okay, so that means suppose let's say I have there is a person who is supplying the ice cream. Okay, so he is supplying ice cream, so he is my vendor A, and vendor B also he is supplying the ice cream. Okay, now what will happen? Okay, when there is a seasonal, okay, when there is a seasonal, okay, uh, what it is like, if it is non-seasonal, okay, then what will be happen? Okay, I can get the price, less price from the this guy, vendor B, and the actual price will be the same from the this price. Okay, so the an unseasonal. If suppose seasonal it is there, okay, so there might be last 3 months there is a seasonal. So the vendor B is not able to supply, okay, because he has a more demands, he is not able to supply, or he is skipping that to supply that. In that case, what you can do? Okay, unseasonal I can block this guy, because unseasonal the other person who is supplying correctly, right? Who is so I can get some profit on this one. Okay, but in the seasonal, what will happen? I am not getting the much support from the this vendor B, so I can go with the vendor A. So what I can do? So when there is a seasonal period, I will order from the vendor A, the continuously orders, and then because even it is actual price also, because the it is seasonal. Okay, there is a more there is more demand on the seasonal, so we'll be ordering to in the area, because I'm not getting from outside. And unseasonal, if I'm getting from less price, I can order to vendor B. So so I can block this vendor for this particular period. Okay, so we can do like that. Okay, so it depends. Or might be if the vendor is not good, but he is supplying from long time, but recently if I just seen that 3 to 4 months, I'm not getting that much of quality of the food from that, or that quality of the product from this vendor. If you want to be blocked for particular period, last 2 to 3 months, then you can block that. Okay, so that is one we can do. So the first functionality is blocking the vendor. Then the next one is, okay, uh, I can fix the vendor, fix or regular. Okay, so if I have that multiple vendors, 10 or 12 vendors are there, 10 or 5 vendors are there. Out of this one, okay, so when I'm just generating the automatic purchase orders, or when I'm generating the sourcing plans and all, okay, so I can inform to the system, okay, you just need just take the vendor here, my fixed vendor. So I'm regularly buying from this vendor. Okay, okay. So I can say that he is my regular vendor. So whenever there is a proposals or it is automatic purchase orders which is created, I can take this is the my best vendor. Okay, so I can fix the vendor. Okay, block the vendor and fix the vendor. Okay, and when there is a any MRP generation, MRP generated. Okay, for schedule lines and all. Okay, so in that case also you can select this source list, so that you can provide the schedule agreement. The system will generate automatically the schedule lines when it is required. So we'll discuss that contract and schedule and agreement. Okay, so basically these are, and I can say I can mention that if there is any contracts. Okay, mention that contract if we have any contract or if we have any schedule agreements. Okay, that agreements we can maintain here. Okay, so this is the purpose of the source list. So majorly it is like a blocking the vendor and fixed vendor we can do majorly. Okay, clear? Any questions? Any questions here? Source list?
Is it me or I don't know, but your voice is cracking. I don't know. For me, it was cracking. Not sure about Shankar.
Okay, yes,
No, sir,
sir.
I can hear clear.
Okay,
Okay, there might be some problem with me, I guess.
okay. So is it you understand the source list or not? You guys, is it?
Let me switch networks, please.
Yeah. Okay. So the source list, the main reason the source list is we are maintaining the all the suppliers list of the all the suppliers and vendors in the list. Okay, in the one document we are preparing, like, okay, we are maintaining all the list of the suppliers, and it's not only for the list of the suppliers which we are maintaining. Other than that, we also be controlling that. Okay, I can block the vendor. Okay, I can block the vendor in the specific period. Okay, if suppose I'm just planning for that next 1 year I don't want to use this vendor, so I can block particular period for this vendor. Okay, and also I can do fixed vendor. Okay, fixed vendor is nothing but like a next 3 months 4 months I'm generating the all the orders to this vendor, so I can say that he is my fixed vendor for next 6 months or 1 year. Okay, so in this case, what will happen if I have the multiple vendors? I can fix the vendor. One of the person who is my regular vendor, I can fix that. So how it will be helpful this one when there is a automatic pivots which is creating, or when it is like there is any uh, automatic proposals which is creating from the MRP or something. Okay, the system will take it up fixed vendor from the source list. Okay,
Got it.
and it is again it's not only these two functionality, there is a one more in the scheduling agreement when you generating the schedule lines. Okay, whether the system MRP should generate the schedule lines to for this vendor. Okay, that also I can select here. Okay, this is one functionality, and if we have any agreements, outline agreements, contracts, okay, that we can update in the source list. Basically it will give that the information of the active vendors and blocked vendors, and what kind of contracts they have. That information I can uh, update here. Okay, so
Okay.
this majorly will be helpful because when automatic source of supply, uh, the functionality which we have there, it is very useful. Automatic source of supply is nothing but like a, if I have the purchase requisition, if I create a purchase requisition, okay, system automatically identifying that identifying that, okay, who is the my regular vendor, who is the my fixed vendor. Okay, with along with the any documents which is created like contract or schedule agreement, outline agreements, so that will be, it will display. Okay, so automatic source of supply is nothing but like a, if we activated this source of supply functionality, okay, the system automatically propose that from the source list, it will give that who is the my fixed vendor or regular vendor. It will update in the purchase requisition. Okay,
I have
clear?
a question.
Yeah, please.
So, this source list, right?
Mhm.
So, if we are fixing a vendor, so every time we create a purchase order, only that vendor will be selected. Is
No,
that
no,
what you are saying?
no, it's not for the purchase order. Okay, that's what, right? It's not for the purchase order. Okay, when there is a functionality like automatic pivot creation. So we have like automatic pivot creation functionality is there. Okay, so it is an automation process. Okay, so the system, how it will be like when it is created a purchase requisition. Okay, the system will check that who is the my best regular vendor. immediately the system will create the automatic POs. Okay, so in that case, the system will take automatically this fixed vendors. But if you're creating the manually purchase order, then you need to be enter the vendor.
Okay.
Okay, so this will be for the automatic. Okay,
Okay.
clear?
Yeah.
So in which scenario it will be work? So if the it will be like my client have the so many operations there regularly. So there are lakhs of the, suppose let's say they regularly they will get the 1,000 purchase requisitions. Okay, so to convert this purchase requisition manually to the purchase order, so that is the, again time taking and more manpower how to use, right? So what they will do, they will put like they will activate automatic PO creation functionality. Okay, then they will maintain that source list, info record, that information they will maintain. So from the source list, that will be a system will take that fixed vendor, and again it's not only source list, you also need to be maintained info record. Is info record, why? Because the tax information and the price information will be captured from the purchase info record.
Okay.
Okay, so then only PO will be created, because if I created a PO, I need the price information also, tax information also, other information also it is required, right? So that
Okay.
information also which is capturing from the info record. So we should be have the source list and info record, and if we have the contracts and schedule agreements, that is also good. Okay,
Okay.
clear?
Okay.
Okay, so this is for the automatic. Yeah. So we have in the purchase requisition also we have the source of supply. Okay, so while creating a purchase requisition, if system needs to be proposed automatically the vendor in the purchase requisition, not in the purchase order. Okay, in the purchase requisition, system will propose that to the fixed vendor information also. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Okay, so that is the concept of the this fixed vendor. Okay, and the blocker vendor, any specifically you are creating purchase order for this vendor, then the system will raise the error message. So this vendor is blocked. Okay, so clear?
Okay.
Okay, okay. So this is the one. The next one is we're talking about next one, which is like condition records. Okay. So what is the condition records? Have you aware about that? Okay. Condition record is nothing but like a pricing conditions, or might be it's like a pricing conditions, or it may be output conditions, what it may be. So if we take the price condition is one example. Okay, there is a was a time dependent and time dependent conditions, and time dependent conditions will be there. Time independent and time dependent conditions. Do anyone knows about the time dependent conditions?
Basically, if I'm creating a condition record, I'll be, creating a condition record for a specific time period.
Oh,
So
oh,
that is like time dependent.
oh, correct,
And time independent is mostly like if I'm entering the price manually in the purchase order using a particular condition type,
correct,
then
correct,
we can say it at time independent.
correct, exactly. So when you entering the manually the price in the PO, okay. So this will be calling as a time independent. Okay. So manually price condition if you entered. Okay. So these are not time dependent. That means it is not depending on the particular period. So in the time dependent, what will be happen? Will be giving that from on to date. Okay. So this particularly specific period, this is the price for this material, right? So we'll be scheduling. We'll be especially specifically we are mentioning that we are mentioning the time frame, time period. Okay, with the price and everything. So so in this case, so time dependent conditions are the will maintain the condition records. So if I maintain the condition record for this time dependent condition type, the system automatically capturing this information while when I'm creating the PO. Okay, clear? So I don't need to be enter the manually. Okay, so if in interview point of view, if they're asking about that, give me some example of the time dependent, time independent. I can say that PBW is the time dependent condition. Okay, uh, and PBWX is the time independent. Okay, so if you're not aware, if you that time dependent condition which is not captured or which you not maintain, you can use PBWX for the time independent condition type, and you can manually maintain in the PW. So PBW0, PBWX, these are the difference.
Okay.
Okay. So any questions on this one?
Uh, I have, but probably we will once we start with the configuration. I'll let you know my questions. I have
Okay.
2-3 questions,
Yeah, just
but
ask. Okay.
probably once the configuration is we start with the
Yeah, if
configuration.
you
I'll ask.
okay. So if you ask here, I can explain that. Okay. Probably if it is need in the system, we'll do it later. But you can ask me question, no problem,
Okay.
because
So,
he also understood it. Yeah.
in SAP SD, okay. So
Okay.
basically the condition record basically for which I have to basically maintain the condition technique. Like I have to create a condition table. Then
Correct.
I
Correct.
assign the condition table to the access sequence
Correct.
from more specific to less specific. And
Correct.
once access sequence are added in the condition type, and then I create the pricing procedure. Okay.
Correct. Correct.
So whenever I create a condition table or generate a condition table,
Mhm.
uh, for me, in SD, we have a concept called as, if some field is not available in the field catalog, then I'll be adding this field in the using append structure functionality.
Mhm.
So do we have the same in SAP MM as well, or
Can I repeat that? What is the name? What you said last?
append structure functionality? So for example, let's say suppose in SD, okay, let's say suppose I have a specific field.
Mhm.
That field is not available in the field catalog at the time of condition table creation. Okay.
Mhm.
So what I will be doing is I have structures, right? KOMP structure, KOMK structure.
Mhm.
So what I'll be doing is, I'll be adding this field in the KOMK or KOMP structure depending on the header level or item level.
Mhm.
And once this field is added in the structure, I'll be able to see this field in the field catalog.
Okay.
So do we have something
So
similar in
field
SAP?
catalog is a field catalog where you are looking in the access sequence, a table,
Uh,
condition table.
condition table.
Okay, okay, okay. Uh-huh. But mostly it will be the same. Okay, we didn't to see that option because so mostly ST and MM, this kind of the common tables, it will be the same. Okay, if you have the because whatever wherever you creating this condition table, there itself we also creating. Okay,
Okay,
so it is I hope that functionality will be also there in the mum side. Okay, but
okay,
we never use that. But it is again
okay,
common to the customization, not
okay,
configuration, standard
okay,
configuration, right? Again, you are
okay.
adding it standard table, right? K1B, K1B.
Correct,
So it's
correct,
almost
correct.
it is customization. It's not standard one, right? Standard configuration.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay,
So, but there is a fun. There must be in the MM as well. We
okay,
work. Okay, it is common for everyone. Okay.
okay, okay,
Okay. And yeah, so okay, this is the condition records which we are maintaining. So we can maintain for FRA1, FRB1, FRC1. So wherever you need that discounts, surcharges, material price, okay, all these things you can maintain in the condition record. Okay. Now, the fifth one, if you say that service master record, which we are discussing for the services. Okay, if we are regular services we have. Okay, if you don't want to be maintained manually at the time of creation PO, okay, you should be captured all the information like activity unit and description of the services. Okay, other parameters if you want to get it that you can do from the service master card. How we are using metal master card, the same way here we are creating the service master card. how we are creating Metal Master Card. Same way we are creating Service Master Card here. Okay, so there will be a service number will be generated. That service number will be using as a reference. Okay, but again that service number we are not entering at in metal number. When we creating that, the metal number will be just separate. Okay, so we are entering service number for the reference of what type of the activity and how much you are planning to perform. Okay, and what is the measurement. Okay, it's like one each or one activity or 1 hour or like. Okay, so that information to capture, we are using the service master card. Okay, so this is on. Without service master card also, you can go directly to create a service PO and to service entry sheet also. Okay, clear? And now coming to the quota arrangement. Any doubts on the above? Any questions?
Okay, so for service master record, basically, I'm creating a task, right?
Mm,
What sort of services that I'll be, acquiring from a vendor. Is my
correct,
understanding correct?
correct. Actually.
Okay.
Okay, if suppose you are doing painting, okay, or maybe you can take simple example like software installation.
Mm,
Okay, so this is one kind of a service. Okay, or cleaning or what kind of service it will be. Okay,
okay.
okay, yeah. And coming to quota arrangement, okay, again this is one which normally no has currently I worked on around 30 projects, but I seen only one client they are using this quota, but that is also almost 10 years back. I think. Okay, but most probably they are not using this quota. Okay, quotas. Okay, this quota arrangement is nothing but like dividing the our requirement into quotas. Okay, so if I have the huge requirements, okay, in that case, how you will be distributing your order quantity to multiple quotas. Okay, so if I have the three vendors are there for the same material, okay, I can say that one vendor can supply 20%, one vendor can supply 30%, one can be supply 50%, like we can say. Okay, so quota arrangement is like a how quota usage. Okay, out of this total order quantity, what was the quota usage you are planning to do? Okay, so that is the quota arrangement. So this is not much important, but yeah, I'll explain that how it will works. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Okay, so as we explained that maybe different vendors, so there might be vendor A is there, so he can maximum can supply 10,000 pieces. Okay, that is the capacity of that guy. And vendor B, maybe he can supply 1 lakh products, but minimum order count will be 10,000. So there are so many rules will be there, right? So it depends on the vendors and depends on their rules and regulations or our quotas which requirement will be go ahead that. Okay, clear?
Got it.
Yeah. So these are the master data we have in the MM. Metal master record, vendor master record, info record, source list, quota arrangement, condition records, okay, service master record. So these are the our master data we have in the SAP MM. Okay. So in interview point of view, if they're asking about that, the master data, we need to be explain this. Okay. Clear? Clear?
Got it.
Okay. And so now coming to the topic wise, what we have outline agreement. One concept it is there, outline agreement. Okay. So what is the meaning of outline agreement? So these are the long-term agreement with the vendor. Okay. So long-term agreement is nothing but like so maybe I can plan for the next 1 year or 6 months or 2 years. Okay. So the long-term agreement will be between the vendor and our company. They are planning for the long term. Okay. To maybe they are to get the more benefits. Maybe if I extend the contract, okay, agreed with the vendor. So I'm continuously buying next 1 year, and this is our agreement. And they can whatever they agreed the price that we will get. Even the market fluctuation either also the vendor is can supply with that price. Okay, so that's the reason we'll be going with a long-term agreement. So in this long-term agreement, we have that okay the process which is like contract and scheduling agreement. So there is a two types of that long-term agreement. One is contract and one is scheduling agreement. So coming to the contract, okay. So coming to the contract, what do you mean by contract? What is the difference between the contract and scheduling agreement? Again, anyone knows about that contract and scheduling agreement? Did anyone knows about that? What is the difference?
Uh, okay. So scheduling agreement, I guess. Okay. Mm, no, no, no.
Okay, so there is nothing difference either here. The one is which is like predefined schedules. Predefined schedules, uh, okay, to the vendor that will come under the part of the scheduling agreement. Okay, and a contract will be the we are releasing the contract release order whenever it is required. That it means it is PO. Okay, okay. So what it is a difference here? Schedule agreement and contract. So the contract is created for long term. Again, whenever you require the quantity, you are creating or you are raising the order. Okay, boss. Okay, as per this agreement, boss, I'm creating this. I need 10 pieces on this date. I'm creating manually PO by using this contract number. Okay, okay. So there is a again even if I have the contract number, again I need to be create a PO separately. Okay, every time when it is required. Suppose 10 to 04, okay, which is required. I need 1,000 pieces. Then I will create one PO. Then again I need a PO number. Again I need the requirement which is like 2,000 pieces on 28/04 2023. Then I will go again. I will be create the one more PO. Okay. See, even contract is there, but I will be take as a reference this contract. I will be creating contract release order for 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay, but coming to the scheduling agreement, okay, these are the predefined schedules. So when you creating the schedule agreement, there itself we are maintaining the schedule lines. Okay, schedule lines is nothing but like hey, next maybe 1 year, this is my plan. Next 1 year, I'm just giving that predefined schedules. So so suppose I will be like 20. Okay, I need 1,000 pieces. Okay, 20th, I will be need 2,000 pieces. And 30th, I need again 3,000 pieces. Okay, again 10th or 15th, 12th or next month, I need again 2,000 pieces. So I'm just giving the predefined schedules when I'm creating the schedule agreement. Okay, so that the vendor can see the schedule lines and they can plan that. Maybe I can generate for the 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Okay, whenever I just need that, I can just informing before only 1 month before or 2 months before, 3 months before. I'll be planning for next 1 month or 2 months or 3 months like. Okay, but in the contract release order, we don't need to be scheduled because we don't need to be informed before only when it is required. Okay, whenever it is required, I'm creating the purchase order. Okay, but here we have the predefined schedules. Okay, that will work. One minute. 1 minute. Okay, sorry. Uh, okay, where we are in? Okay, predefined schedules. So that is the difference. Schedule agreement, contract, that is the difference. Okay. Did you got it?
Okay.
1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. Okay. So this is the difference for contract and schedule agreement. Okay. So again, come to the contract. Again, we have a different kind of the contracts. Okay, different kind of contracts we have. So any doubts in the above? What is the difference between the schedule agreements and contract? Any doubts here? You understand, right? What is the concept?
Mhm. Okay.
We don't need to be create purchase order again. In this case, schedule agreement case, you don't need to be create any purchase order. So there is no purchase order where directly we will get the goods.
So, can I ask you something actually?
So please, yeah.
So, so let's say suppose if I'm not mistaken,
Mhm,
uh, in scheduling agreement we have a fixed quantity. If I'm saying that on the 10th day of the month I
mhm,
should be getting 1,000 quantities.
mhm,
On 15th of the month I should be getting 2,000 quantities.
mhm,
On 30th of month I should be getting 3,000 quantities.
mhm.
And let's say suppose on 31st of the month I should be getting 2,000 quantities.
Okay.
That means all this time I'll be procuring these much quantities from the vendor. That
Mhm,
is fixed. And whenever in the contract, if my contract is for the 2,000 pieces for
mhm,
the period of 1 year,
mhm,
I can either procure 2,000 pieces or I can procure less as well.
mhm. Okay. Mhm. Okay.
Uh,
But yeah, here again we have the different scenarios. Okay, so your case is okay. We can still, if you want to increase that, you can increase that based on vendor is accepted to increase that quantity or price. Okay, depends on you and the client and vendor. Again, they can do modifications in the contract. Okay.
Yeah, I can always increase. That is not
Yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
issue. But I am
Correct.
not. But let's say suppose if my contract is for the 2,000 quantities,
Mm,
but I am not obligated to buy 2,000 quantities, right?
mm,
I will not be forced. I mean, I will not be forced to to buy 2,000 quantities in the scheduling agreements. If I'm setting dates, that means for this date, I'll be getting 1,000 quantities. I'll have
correct.
to buy it from a vendor.
Okay, so okay, here also you are buying the from the vendor, and here also you are buying the vendor. But in this case, okay, you need to be raised again separate PO. If
Okay.
suppose contract is there, it is for 1 lakh. Okay, 1 lakh 1 lakh quantity. Okay,
Mhm.
okay, or 1 lakh or else 1 lakh um, uh, price value. Okay, whatever it may be, price value or quantity. So this is a contract we agreed that okay, boss, I'm just planning to buy from you next 1 year. I'm planning this one. Okay. So
Mhm.
when I will raise this purchase order, when it is required, I don't know yet now because might be tomorrow only I need, maybe 10 days after I need, or 20 days maybe after I need. Okay, so I don't know when it is. Okay, so we have the agreement that next 1 year I'm planning to buy this much of the quantity, this much of the value of the product which I'm buying. That's why a vendor is giving some subsidies or some discounts to me because I'm continuously planning to buy from them. Okay,
Okay.
okay. But let's say, if the IBM, okay, IBM planning to buy laptops or okay to take service of the laptop from Dell. Okay, so there is the agreement between the IBM and Dell. Okay, so next 1 year, IBM agreed that will plan to buy all the laptops from the Dell. Okay,
Mhm.
because of that, Dell is giving that. Okay, there is a 10% of discount on the product. This subsidy they are giving because they are uh, they are continuously buying from uh, my stores or from my company laptops. So they're not planning any other company laptop. So Dell laptop service center or Dell laptop they are providing this corporate discount to the IBM. Okay, so
Okay.
this I can raise tomorrow also because I agreed with Dell. IBM can raise tomorrow also. So this next week we have planning that okay, 10 people we are planning to recruit. So we need 10 laptops.
Okay.
They can raise that. Okay, or maybe next 1 month after 1 month they're planning to raise one more, which is 1,000 pieces, which is required. So, so there is no way predefined schedule. That means you need to be supply on this date and you need to be supply this one. So you are raising every time one order. Every time you are creating PO whenever you are
Mhm.
getting requirement. But in this case, what will be happen? Okay, I am informing that okay, next 1 month or 2 months or 3 months or 4 months. This is the my dates which I am planning. So I need on these dates I am planning to production. So you need to be supply this goods.
Got it.
Okay. So let's say how it will like. If same example, if I take that above, so every month, okay, we are recruiting resources. Okay, I'm just giving the similarly example, but in a different way. Okay, every month we are recruiting the resources. Okay, we are just like a 10 members we are recruiting. Okay, so that is our that every month on maybe 5th. Okay, or okay, then maybe every month 15. Again, every month 15. We have again 10 members we are recruiting. Okay, that's example. Okay, then what I can do in the scheduling, predefined schedulers, I can say that okay, fifth every month 5th, I can put that okay, I need 10 laptops, and again I will put that 15th I need 10 laptops. So I can repeat for the next 3 months or 4 months. I can repeat that. Okay, on 5th I need 10 laptops. So you no need to be raise again purchase order. I need this 10 pieces, 10 pieces, this 10 pieces on 5th or 15th. Okay, it will automatically give the information to the vendor. He will be shipping that dates automatically. Okay, no need to be raise again purchase order.
Okay.
Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay. So in this case again, come to the contracts again. We have the different scenarios, which is like quantity contract and value contract. Okay, and the central contract. Okay. These are three types of contracts we have, and the scheduling agreements again we have the two cases. Okay, that is like with release, without release, with release and without release. Okay, so these two cases we have. Okay, contract, quantity contract and value contract and central contract is nothing but like a when I'm talking about a quantity contract, it is especially like which I talk about a 1 lakh pieces or 1 lakh pieces. Okay, so next 1 year I'm planning to buy 1 lakh pieces from you. Next 1 year. Okay, but if I'm talking about a value, okay, so next 1 year I'm talking about a 1 lakh value. The total contract value is 1 lakh value. Okay, clear? So when I'm talking about the quantity, it is only looking into the quantity. When I'm just looking at when 1 lakh quantity pieces when you bought, okay, is it audible?
Yeah.
Okay, when 1 lakh quantity which is done, might be if you want to be extend, you can extend or you can restrict that to more than 1 lakh quantity should not be allowed. So you can say contract to quantity exceeded. So please, so cannot write the purchase order again. Okay, again the same way which is like value also. Okay, when we're talking about a central contract, okay, so it is either it may be quantity or it may be value. So when it is reaching either quantity or value, the system will give that okay, you already reached this 1 lakh quantity, or you already reached this 1 lakh value of the people quantity. So that system will give that errors. Okay, based on your restrictions. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Is it clear? Qua- Quantity contract is basically it's focus on the quantity, and value contract is majorly it is focusing on value. And when it is central quantity contract, central contract, it will be like quantity or it may be value. Okay.
Okay.
Now coming to schedule agreement with release and without release. Without release is nothing but like you don't need to be released every time. Okay. The schedule lines. Once you maintain that information will go to the vendor and they will send the goods to the based on the predefined schedules. Okay, but if suppose there is a 1 year period is there, the next 1 year I just maintained here. That information, okay, have vendor have that information, he will be supplying the goods on the based on the these dates. So whenever the date it is there, it will be they automatically start the shipping and they will send the goods to our company. But if it is with release, okay, so you must be release that, okay. Even if you created the schedule lines also, you should be take the approvals and you need to be release the quantity. So again, it is with release, there is a just in time it will be there. Okay. What is the meaning of just in time? Maybe in the shorter period, maybe for next 2 months or for 1 month. Okay. I can define that. Okay. These are the quantity which is required. Okay. Hello.
Oh, okay.
So what do you mean by that? What is the difference here? Without release, okay, I don't need to be released every time the schedule lines. Okay. So once I maintain that information, automatically they will take and they will be sending the goods. But if with release, what will be happen? So I can maintain the shortest period. Okay. Okay. There is a two cases here, FRC and J, JIT. Okay. So what will be happen? Just in time is nothing but like in the shortest period I will be planning. Shortest period is nothing but like next to 15 days, 1 month I'm planning. Okay. So it might be you can demand immediately also within 4 days, 5 days also you can demand just in time. Okay. And this is forecast this one. Okay. This will be you can plan for a long period. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So, but every time you need to be released with to release. That means you need to be processed manually. This just in time or FRC, then only the system will send the information to the vendor for the shortest period or it is the longest period. Okay. But in this case, we don't need every time to send. Okay. So if you maintain first time, then automatically that information they will send through output. Okay, they will generate a printout and they will send that. But in the with release, it's even if you cannot generate the output, you need to be approved. That means you need to be released from your end. Either it may be shortest period or it is a longest period. Then only it will go to that information to vendor.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the contract and schedule agreement. Okay. So any questions here? Any questions?
As of now, no, but yeah,